Well, hi, class, and welcome to week one of business law. And I just wanted to introduce myself to you a little bit. My name is Brian Meter, and I am entering my second year of teaching here at Western. I've taught at Viterbo, I've taught at Loras, and you can go through the Start Here folder and read a lot more about me. As we're looking at those sort of things, um, first of all, I just want you to look at the syllabus and go through that and understand just how I work and is expected of you in class. We're going to turn in all assignments on Mondays, which we might get into a little bit later here in this uh, preview here of week one. But if you have any questions when going through that, please let me know. Also, we have what's called the Western Transfer Hub, and Delaney Service made a really nice video on some things. If you're thinking about going on to a four-year school after this, I encourage you to read this uh, information. Go to the hub here below, and then also watch the video that she made for us. So we have some very good agreements with some different schools that'll help you if you're interested in pursuing a four-year degree. There's some basics about how to attach assignment in Blackboard, but we're going to get right into it. So I've taught business law, I've taught sport law. I really enjoy it. And I know from being a student and then from also teaching it, the most important thing you can do to get started is to have a baseline. So I'm going to get into that here in just a second. Here's a review of this week's assignments. You're going to watch my video. You're doing that now. You're going to read chapter 1, chapter 4, and chapter 10. You also have to forget about the syllabus and schedule quiz, but you're going to go do the discussion board, week one quiz, and then the week one journal. And we'll get into each one of those. So I do things kind of a little differently than maybe some. I'm trying to create some unique ways for you to learn the material. And one of them is I use Notebook LM a lot to create different things. And here I created some flashcards for you. So like before you even get into the flashcards, I want you to review all the definitions for business law. These will be coming up again a lot, right? And so you need to go through all of these and understand the basics. And so I added some things in there that I thought were kind of important. One of them is like business organizations, like how are they organized? Are they sole proprietorship? Are they LLC? Are they just limited liability? Are they a partnership? That's what I own, is a partnership. So you need to know those. I give you a really good basic understanding. I didn't put in there nonprofit. That would be another option as well. A nonprofit is ran like a business, but it is usually has a charitable cause connected to it. So anyways, those are all the definitions that I want you to understand. And then I created, like I said, something a little different, is this definitions flashcard. So if you click on the definitions flashcards, you're going to go to a site and you can read through it. And if you just click on it, it'll show you the answer. It's good practice as we move forward throughout this term. It'll be in there the whole year long. So there's about 22 different definitions in there to go over, and hopefully that'll help you master the content. Business law is really about mastering the content. If you don't know the difference between criminal law and civil law, you might struggle a little bit. The civil law is really something that is wrong against someone else. It could be a car accident. A criminal law is where laws are broken. So someone steals from a bank, so that would be a criminal law. And knowing understanding the difference between those is really going to help you throughout, right? So we get our law from 4 different sources. The book goes over this really well. There's the constitutional law. These are things that have been written in our Constitution for centuries, and we really hold those very true to our way of government and our way of being citizens in this country. So that's a big one. Judicial. This is what's called common law, and judicial happens. It's passed down through judge rulings and stuff like that. Administrative. These are the statutes and agency regulations that you'll find in each state and each community. So we have different statutes in La Crosse compared to Winona and different state statutes. And then also, if you go into legislative, that is, these are the laws that are passed down from our legislative branch. This comes from the president, it comes from our Congress, and those are the four sources of law. And each one has different strengths. We'll probably get into that a little bit later on in this term. So you're going to read chapter 4, chapter 10. So let's go into the introductions. So your introductions are going to be due. You have to submit your introduction by Thursday, May 14th. Share with us who you are, some ideas about how you might get some good information out of business law to help you in work and life. Attach a school appropriate picture of yourself. Let's see what, and then you need to, after the Thursday, May 14th, you'll have like 3 days or so to respond to at least 2 of your peers. Okay, so if you don't, you just don't get those points, or 20 total points. Okay, so we're moving on there. Make sure when you do that intro discussion that you just don't copy and paste from your last class. Make this applicable to business law. You have a quiz, we're 20 points. And then you have a journal here at the end. And so here is a journal. You can prepare 2 paragraphs describing to me what you learned about this week. Think about how business law that you're learning in class can interact with the courses, with the jobs that you might be interested in the future. Give me an example, like a real world example, how you think the teachings from this class can be applied to a business. So, there's so much to go over there, and we're just getting started, but we need to have a good understanding after week 1 of how business law interacts with our day-to-day operations. You can be in an ad agency and you're dealing with business law like contract law and the rights to different images and stuff like that. That's just one basic example. I own my own business. That business is a batting cage business. We have 3 cages. We have people access it, and so I have contract agreements, I have user right agreements, I have waivers, I have insurance I need to get. I have all these different things to protect me and to protect the users. I use business law on a weekly basis, and I'm so glad I had a really good foundation for it. I really hope that this class will help you get a really good foundation for law and how you need to navigate it. So enjoy, and let me know if you have any questions.